forklift driver. Welcome back to the Dream Build Home series, where I show you guys how my husband Matt and I are building our dream modern home in the UK. In the last episode, you would have seen the first floor of our house finally be built, which was super exciting. However, we still didn't have a roof yet. In today's episode, I can update you guys on so many things that have happened in the past few months. The house looks completely different, so stay tuned till the end and I hope you guys enjoy. First things first, I'm always so excited to see a Travis Perkins lorry on our site because it means progress is about to happen. We ran these long pieces of wood through our table saw to create a slope for our flat roof. We started on the single-story small roof and laid out the entire thing ourselves, which didn't actually take that long. Alright, so we are on top of the roof. It is actually an amazing view from here. Just show them over there real quick. How cool. Like, I can see so far along the horizon that I've not normally seen, so this is really awesome. But it's also kind of scary being up here. We do have a handrail around, so it's perfectly safe. But still, the height is a little bit like, ugh. Anyway, we have all the materials laid out, which we have actually pre-cut all of these furring strips to go on the roof, so we're going to be getting on with that this week. We were lucky to have our builders lift all the materials on the roof for us with the telehandler, otherwise it would have been so time consuming and so much effort to lift all this heavy wood up the ladder by hand. This week we had a team of scaffolders come and put all of the scaffolding up around the entire house, ready for the window company to use it and fit all the windows, as well as us when it comes to cladding the house. At this point, our builders were also completing our internal walls, dividing up all the rooms, which was so cool to see. Alright guys, so we are now on the roof, and as you can see, there's quite a lot of things happening behind me. So Matt and Liam are currently doing the roof joists. Is it roof joists? Roof fairings. I don't know the terminology, the furring strips. Basically, we are now doing the furring strips on the roof to get that nice gradual slope so that the water drains out towards the back of the building over there. So we've battened out an area at the bottom of the roof to kind of give a bit of airflow, and then the joists, or the furrings as they're called, will be sitting on top, and we have to basically work on the whole roof all the way down, which is going to take us a lot of time. So this is how far we have gotten so far. We're probably about halfway there almost. We've done all of the battens, we've put all the furrings on this side, and now we're starting to board it out. And it seems to be pretty square so far. So hopefully it'll be all right. So it's the end of the day.
Yeah, so this is how we've got on today. I think we've done a huge amount.
In the next couple of days, we had some really exciting deliveries. We finally had all of our windows delivered for the entire house, and I've been looking forward to this moment for so long now. As the rainy season is fast approaching, being able to watertight our house before the winter was a huge priority for us. It's so weird to finally have something on site for the windows. And obviously, as you can see, we went for a matte black aluminium like frame, which I think is going to look really nice and modern.
Yeah, I mean, most of these are fixed frames, like they're not opening, and that's mostly due to having the MVHR system, which is going to do the ventilation anyway.
Yeah.
There are a few opening windows over here though.
These back ones here are the ones that do actually open. We had to have these for the upstairs so that they were a means of escape in case of a fire.
Yeah, I think they're for the bedrooms, so you need a means of escape there.
Yeah, they're looking so cool. I can't wait.
And in the meantime, we're still pressing on the roof. Basically, as we've been doing the roofers have come and started weatherproofing it as we've been doing it.
Yeah, it's been very stressful.
But they've caught us up now, so we're at the point where we're kind of having to work at the weekend a little bit, so that we could do the last bit of the roof before they weatherproof it. Okay, so as you saw in some of the previous clips, we were furring and boarding this roof, and it's got the ply on it already, really, the single ply membrane.
Yeah, it's looking good.
This is Ulwitra, Evalon VSK, I think.
So as you can see, we have that really nice slope there going from, you know, the highest point on the left side to the drain point on the right. We've cut out all the drainage holes as well.
We've got 4 of those.
They've not been done yet. Yeah, we have 4 of them on this back wall because we really wanted to make sure that the drain pipes were nice and tucked away, not at the front of the house.
And then let's go over here and see what else we've been up to.
It's been a bit challenging, this area of the roof, because as you can see, it is a triangle.
Yeah, so again, we've boarded and furred that roof. We've actually built a skylight upstand like this one, but much more complicated. And they've started on it, but it's covered because they haven't done the welds yet.
Yeah.
But as you were saying here, it's a kind of difficult because it's a separate roof. We've got drainage coming from this one. So half of this roof will drain onto this one. And then we have 2 outlets over there, which drain onto the single-story roof below. But it's mostly complicated because of all the angles, but I think we've worked it out now.
Yeah, I think we've got a good system going. We've laid a few of the furring strips down already and it all seems to be working fine in terms of like the slope. After weeks of hard work, we finally had an almost watertight roof. The only thing we needed now to make it completely watertight on top are the 2 skylights in the hallway and our master bathroom. With that milestone out the way, we decided to start battening the external walls and prepping them for our brick slip cladding. We had to create this trellis-like shape on the walls to allow for airflow behind the cladding. This alone took a few weeks and we're still not fully done the entire battening on the house. Right guys, so it has been a while since I've updated you guys on what's been going on with the house. So I thought today is a nice sunny day. Let's just show you guys everything that's been happening so far. I honestly can't even remember when I updated you guys last, but there's been a lot happening. I guess the most important thing and the biggest sort of update is that the roof is finally completely on, but also the windows, some of them have been placed in. Most of them are actually in already. There's just a few of the bigger ones like up the top there, and also some of the slightly larger ones in the lounge that haven't been put in yet because they need to actually get a crane to put them in. It's pretty crazy seeing the lounge like this though, because some of the windows are already in. We are waiting on these ones to go in because these are slightly larger, so like I said, they will need a crane to handle those. But all of the other ones, you know, the thin, small windows everywhere else are very much in. These are probably one of the larger windows that have been installed so far, and they're looking so cool. We did actually have to put these massive like X's with some masking tape over them because the glass was so clear that we would actually end up just thinking that there's no glass inside, and many people have tried to walk through here, which was like our direct route to get out. But now it's all boarded up, so we kind of have to walk all around the house through the openings that are still not filled. But yeah, I can't wait for all this glass to finally be in. It's gonna look so cool. The largest window we have in so far is this one in the office. Let me put you guys down so you can see. Look how big this window is. It's crazy. I'm gonna have my desk right here, I think, and it's just gonna be really cool to be able to look out. Oh my gosh, it's honestly crazy. Like, we actually have windows. Last week, myself, Matt, and also my dad have been working really hard on actually packing out some of these steel columns, which the company that built our house has actually left just like this. So we basically had to go over all of these and fill them out so that it makes a nice flush kind of exterior for all our cladding. This corner right here is what we've been working on, and honestly I know it doesn't really look like much, but for it to get to this stage you have to like insulate the steel, pack it out with wood, drill holes through the steel, which is not an easy task. And this little corner here, upstairs and downstairs, has literally taken us like 3 days alone. Over the battening, we're then putting the sort of like cement board, and then over the cement board, we're putting on the brick slips. I'm sure you guys may remember our brick slip samples, which we asked you guys to help us out with, whether you preferred this option or this option. And loads of you guys said you preferred this option, which I'm sure you'll be glad to know that we are going for this format without the grout. However, this brick was just way too expensive, and we couldn't basically fit this into our budget. So we found this brick, which is very similar. I mean, in terms of shape and everything, these two are broken, so don't mind that. They're literally exactly the same size. They're gonna be super long like this. However, the shade is slightly different, and Matt and I don't really, I mean, it's difficult because we really like the brick, but we don't love the shade as much as we did the original one. I mean, they are both grey, so that's good. However, we do prefer the darker version, which is a bit of a shame because it was just way out of our budget. So instead, we're gonna opt for this one, and perhaps there's a method that maybe we can make them darker with some kind of like seal or stain. I have been looking into it, but basically, yeah, this is the brick that we have ultimately decided on. This is what the corner pieces will look like. And yeah, it still has that really nice natural stone kind of look to it, but it's just a bit too light for us. Also, this is the cladding we have decided on. They're from a company called Neo Timber. It's a composite cladding. So this is what will be on parts of the building, not all of it. And then this is what we're going to be using as the soffit. So anywhere that you see an overhang, kind of like there and under here, also under the balcony, this is kind of what you're gonna see like underneath like that. So yeah, basically we are pretty much working towards getting the exterior done first so that this summer we can just work on the outside and, you know, enjoy the weather. As for the inside, we'll probably start doing that when it starts getting colder. So maybe more in the autumn and winter months, we'll start heading inside the house and actually working on the electrics and plumbing and stuff like that. So the next step was to get these cement boards on, which was quite a hard task due to the weight of them. Each full board weighs around 40 kg, and having to lug these up to the top of the building was quite tricky, but with some helping hands we did manage it. So this is how the guys are getting the cement boards up. They are so heavy, they're like 40 kg, and we have to do this every time we need a board at the top of the building. They're using these straps from the van, and that's how they lift them up. So basically our aim is to get the whole of the sort of battening done all around the circumference of the house, and then clad it with this cement board. It's called the aqua panel. This is basically what allows us to get the bricks straight on top. It's been so hard working on this though because it's been really hot. The last week here in the UK we've had like a heat wave, and it's just been absolutely disgusting working in this sort of heat, but we've done pretty well. In the following weeks, we carried on battening all around the building, but a big priority was actually to batten the roof overhang so that we could attach these sheets of marine ply over it. We wanted to fully waterproof this area as soon as possible, so we actually had ordered our bespoke aluminium roof fascias and capping at this point. To my surprise, the company that we used were actually able to manufacture these fascias to our complete bespoke design and sizing in literally just a week. The next week, they were powder coated in our chosen black matte color and delivered to us on site. It took the lads about 2 days to put up the whole entire circumference of the long wing of the house, and I think it looks so nice. Once the guys were done with the roof fascias, it was then time for the window guys to come back on site and fit all the biggest windows which couldn't be fitted by hand due to their weight and size. This was actually the first time we had a huge crane like this on our land, which was quite exciting actually. The large windows which had to be fitted behind the house were lifted into the air, which I won't lie, was really scary. Like, bruh, I'm looking at that glass and it's so fragile and it's just way too close to the scaffolding. Honestly, seeing all that money we spent on these huge windows just spinning around in the air with no control, you better believe I was praying that they don't smash somehow. At the same time though, the idiot in me was kind of recording the whole thing and trying not to blink just in case the glass dropped, and I missed the whole like oddly satisfying moment when it smashed to the ground. The intrusive thoughts won. They were then also using this baby crane called a spider crane. How freaking adorable. And yes, that's the only time you'll ever hear me say spider and adorable in the same sentence because I'm so scared of spiders. These little spider cranes are so nifty though. The suction cups just adhere to the glass and they're able to lift the glass up into really awkward areas such as places like under roof overhangs. This is normally used for when a regular crane can't be used to get into those spaces. Now the last two windows that we had to fit were actually the skylights, and up to this point, you best believe the weather was so beautiful, the sun was out, there was no sign of rain, but as soon as the universe hears that we need to fit a window that's flat and on the roof, boom, the rain starts. It was super annoying because when you fit a roof light, you want it to be completely dry as you're literally laying down a piece of glass over the parapet, and silicone and water doesn't exactly mix. So what we had to do is completely dry the parapet with some like rags and tissue so that it was completely dry and free of moisture. We then run 2 beads of silicone around the window circumference, and then the crane lowered the window into place. Luckily, it was only a little rain cloud, so we managed to fit both of the windows in the hallway and the bathroom before the rain picked up again. And after all that malarkey, here is how our fully watertight roof is looking, and I think it looks pretty good. Alright, so as of this point, you are totally up to date with everything that has happened to the house up to this point now, and I really hope you guys have been enjoying seeing the process so far. In the next future episode, I'm hoping that we're going to be getting some of the cladding and the brick slips on, which will be super exciting. As always, thank you guys so much for being here and watching this series. I hope you guys are enjoying it, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye!